piece of information to our viewers. India and Russia are set to unveil a 2030 economic roadmap covering strategic cooperation across key sectors. The package includes fresh exports deals in pharma, agriculture, food and consumer goods, along with boosted ties in fertilizers. All these agreements collectively aim to push bilateral trade to the $100 billion mark by 2030. In fact, let's take a look at what these deals will entail. Now, remember that this is very important because this is the entire framework that India and Russia are looking towards. That goal is 2030 and the goal and the aim is in fact trade deal by 100 billion US dollars. So, let's in fact look at what this trade deals and what the 2030 roadmap is. Both the nations are expected to sign a program for the development of strategic cooperation areas in the economy by 2030. So, both the nations, they will identify those key areas where there can be a strategic cooperation and then help develop a program so that by 2030 they can have a streamlined process. Now, these deals aim for a bilateral trade worth $100 billion by 2030. I think we have been highlighting that point enough that both the countries want to reach a trade aim, a trade volume of $100 billion by 2030, and I think identifying all those key sectors is very important for that. Now, firstly, there will be deals in exports. Obviously, exports form a major part of both the economies, and these exports are expected to be in deals in areas of pharmaceuticals, in agriculture, in food products and in consumer goods. So, these are some of the areas that both the countries will be looking at for exports. There will also be deals in fertilizers. Now, deals to boost cooperation in the fertilizer sector. Remember that when we talk about trade and exports from Russia to India, India has a lot of trade volume in the fertilizer sector and they want to look at a joint cooperation in this sector. Now, deals in crude oil. Obviously, one of the most important points will be deals in crude oil. India is expected to pursue a long-term crude contracts with non-US sanctioned Russian firms. So, remember that this is very important because they are looking at cheap, stable and reliable sources of fuel. Russia seems to be that country itself. And when we look at sanctions from the US, so India will be looking at partners that are actually not sanctioned by the US. So, that is what India will be looking at when we go when we talk about crude oil per se. So, let me go across to Mr. Gupta. I know we do not want to delve into the details of crude oil and what the entire trade looks like, but that forms a major part of why this meet seems to be happening, because Russia and India both were sanctioned because India was buying oil from Russia. And we have seen that this year India's imports of Russian crude oil seem to have declined slightly, not a lot, but we were affected when those two largest firms that India actually got their crude supply from were sanctioned by the US. However, Russia remains our stable partner, a reliable partner when it comes to fuel, and India has maintained this position that they will no matter what come under pressure and they will continue that trade.
Correct. So crude oil is a seasonal fruit for India. At this time, this fruit is very cheaper and very tasty as well as very nutritious. So let us have it. So at this time, India is getting crude, but after 5 years, it may not be there because once the Ukraine matter will be resolved, Russia may not be supplying at this discounted price. Because today Russia needs money, so it is asking. So that is the reason India has understood, Mr. Modi has understood that this is the opportunity. Grab it and make it. We have to make it $100 billion business, but it will not be dependent only on the oil. So India has to increase the export. That way we will reduce the deficit first, and then we will have the business, regular business with the Russia. So the pharma is the area, auto sector is the area, electronics is the area, FMCG is the area, food processing product, IT or technical services. These are the area, and of course manpower services. These are the area where India can start pushing. At present, please understand, Russia is alone in the world. Yes, Russia is confident, secure, safe, strong, but Russia is alone because it is the history of China that it is never a good long-term friend for any country. So Russia understands this very well, that China is also a good friend, but it's not a permanent friend. India can fill this gap. And of course, Russia is big compared to India in all the matter. That means it can support to India in every manner. And what it wants a partnership so that the world gets a message that Russia is not alone. And this is the reason Russia support to Iran and Russia support to Palestine. Because on Palestine matter, India is balanced. So Russia wants a full-fledged permanent partner as close as China or even more closer than China. And then India will get lot of financial business support, technological transfer, support in energy, support in defense, which India needs. If India get the cheaper energy, it can produce a lot. It can be a manufacturing hub. And when India gets a good arms and ammunition, India can control the Pakistan so that the quiet peace in India will happen. So this is the reason that at present India sees opportunity in Russians meeting this summit, and Russia want a friendship, partnership at global level, at real micro level as well as macro level, so that world get a message that Russia is not alone. India, the country like India and country like China is with him. So don't treat them lightly. On the other hand, India want to give message to the European Union and America. Then don't treat us a third world country now. We are shifting towards the developing country to developed country very soon, because India has said that we want to be the Vishwa Guru. So own preferences, own priorities going together with new friends in new era.
Absolutely. In fact, Professor Tejawat, Russia has been our all-weather friend. It has been a reliable friend since the Cold War days, and we have Russia supporting us in various issues. But what I want to understand is, when we are looking at this new chapter being scripted in the Russia-India history, it is also scripting a new script in the global front as well, because here are two countries who are trying to tell the West that this is not the time for a bipolar or a unipolar world where the West rules. This is a multipolar world, and India and Russia are dominant powers that everyone has to deal with. This entire summit actually also is a show of power by both the countries.
That's very much true, but still I believe that at present, in a present situation, there is no multipolar world. So we must believe that still the China is growing, Russia, India, and even the African Union is a great power in coming days. But right at this moment, the United is still a biggest power in the world, and United States and China and with other countries, if we compare, then the United States still is having a great economy, and India is having a great dependency on a United States. And if we only speak about the Russia-India cooperation and the friendship, we know that it's all weather proven partnership, but still the India given lots of money to the Russia to purchasing weapons and to so the Russia really get a lot from the India, and in turn of course the Russia really help us in a green revolution and many other partnership in the beginning when we were establishing the hydraulic power in a Nehruvian era. So the 5 years plan, the Russia and India is having a great partnership, but still we cannot ignore the United States. And even the India is having a good partnership with the European Union and the United States. And we know that the foreign policy of the European Union is totally dependent on the United States. So at the same time, we should not ignore this reality. So we need to make a balance between the Russia and the Western world, and I suppose we'll be succeeded. The America, in the beginning, America tried to pressurize, but now the America realized that the India cannot be ignored, and India cannot be the subordinate partnership, cannot be go for the subordinate partnership. India will definitely go for the equal partnership, and so this is the only way I see the world order in the coming years and the decades.
Absolutely, absolutely. I thank Professor Tejawat and Mr. Gupta for joining us on this broadcast and providing us with those valuable perspectives on this issue. With that, this is a wrap on this bulletin. We'll come back to you after this short commercial.